So I wanted to talk about the book I Am Malala because that book personally stood out for me because it was a book about a young girl who was almost my age. She was my ethnicity, and it kind of just realized, it made me think that someone that young, someone so similar to me could achieve something so great, and I really appreciated that someone that was not, I don't know, generic by saying this, that we didn't focus on someone who was like a white female, a certain age, certain size, someone that was actually diverse, someone who lived somewhere else, someone who had to go through different things just to even go to school and fought for like female education rights. And looking at her life, it really showed me that like the worst thing that could possibly happen to you could make the best thing in your life happen. I was looking at her book, and this is before we started to read it. I'm like, okay, Malala's book, I didn't seem that interested. At that time, I had anxiety, I was depressed, and I just wasn't really the person who I am today. And I read the back of the book, and the book said, but when you have nearly lost your life, a funny face in the mirror is just still proof that you are and still here on earth. Before reading that, I'd always like look myself in the mirror and I'd be like, okay, you have good grades now, but you can always do better. What you're doing right now is not enough. After I read that book, it really showed me that Malala she literally looked herself in the mirror saying, this is what I am, it doesn't matter what I look like, but what I've achieved is enough. But to me, it's not enough because I want to do more. I want to fight for women's education rights. Other people look at Malala as this girl who was just so young, but she became a women's education icon. That's what everyone else looked at her as. But to me, she was a self-love icon. She really told look, just reading the back of her book showed me that you can amount to anything. After I reread this book for One Book, One School, I was a completely changed person because just by looking at myself in the mirror, I literally told myself, what you're doing is enough. Everything that you are doing is enough, but just don't push yourself to do more. Do what you want to do. And I really enjoyed reading this book as a school because at the time I felt alone. I felt like no one was having these issues that I was having. But when we had a mix of grades, a mix of people, it was so diverse. And when we were reading this book and we'd have discussions about it, everyone was talking about like, hey, like Malala, like I went through this and I went through this. And when we were talking, it was this one moment that I didn't feel alone. I felt like everyone else just understood what I was going through. And that's why I really think One Book, One School is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me or at this school. Thank you.
I can't top that. Honestly, that was really good. Thanks a lot. Way to go. So I'm Evan. I said that already. And one of the books that stood out to me was Paperboy. So when I was in second grade, I just come from Arkansas, and I didn't process it, but I also had a speech impediment, and I couldn't say my R's. Now, at that time, I was incredibly cute. Like, it was like a gift, because I was just so cute. But at the time. But as I got a little older, it started to become a problem. So I started being pulled out of classes to get speech help, and I've always had this problem, and I still do, where I want myself and everything around me to be perfect. I'm an absolute perfectionist, so I was being pointed out for something that was wrong. I, just like the character, I felt like I was in my head. I wasn't good enough. I couldn't get what I wanted to say. I couldn't speak. And so when I read Paperboy, when I read Paperboy, it taught me that you can, like, there's so many things that can be so much against you, and everyone has something. Everyone, like right now, as I don't have speech impediment anymore, but when I did, that was my main thing. And now, I think Lena mentioned it, it's anxiety. So, so even though I have this thing against me, Paperboy taught me that it doesn't matter what's in front of you, it's to push forward. And so, I promise myself I wouldn't get a little shaky, but so it taught me that it's okay to have something, and it's okay to talk about it. And so in my book group, we would talk about it, and it was so, just like you were saying, it was so great to know that everyone has something, and I wasn't alone. So it was just amazing, especially since I related to the character so much, and I didn't realize it then how much, knowing that, and even listening to him, it brought me back to how I used to sound, and how it was so frustrating. It's hard to get ideas out with stuff in front of you. So I just want to say that One Book, One School, it may seem like, oh, we're just reading a book, but it really makes a difference on someone's life. Not my life, but like, it's helpful to know that even though there's stuff against you, with help from your peers and your teachers, like I was saying earlier, you can definitely get over it, and that's what the character did. And so, yeah, but thank you.
So I think this One Book, One School program is a very good learning experience for the students. And there are many reasons, they explained some of them, but I think one reason is that you can learn about so many of the different cultures and about the different history throughout the books. And unlike an actual history class, you're not being rated or tested, and you're not reading off a textbook. For example, in the book, The Boy on the Wooden Box gives you the opportunity to learn about World War II and the Holocaust from a different point of view. This book has a big impact on me because it really makes me understand like what people are going through and how they feel. Because in a class, we don't learn about that kind of thing. We just learn about like the general topics. And Leon Layson, the protagonist and also the author, is a young boy who is around the same age as us and is going through a rough time. And he's very special because he does not give up on hope. And in the story, he says, "A hero is an ordinary human being who does the best things in the worst of times." And like most of the other books that we have read, the story really makes me want to like not give up when times are hard, because you realize that people around the world are going through harder things. And unlike like Lita and Evan, I can't really relate to this character because like he's going through a way harder time, and like we're like gifted with like nice things and that kind of thing. So I can't really relate to that much, but I do realize like when I get a bad score on a test, like I can't really like get that upset because like you can feel like they're going through harder times, like you shouldn't get that upset. So thank you.
Okay, so what I really enjoy about One Book, One School is how we always have a theme to go with it. So this year it's What You Do Matters. So reading this book really drills this into your head, and you can always go back into the book to reference it. And we always have an activity. This year it's giving cans. And we had this sub, and he was really passionate about these cans. And he said, "Do you know how much of a difference this makes?" And we this year, I know we want to get 16,000 cans, and we were talking about how all these homeless people, they need it, and how big of a difference this makes. And every year we have incredible guests coming in. I remember for Paperboy, we had the actual author come in, and we had a special inclusive luncheon where you could actually talk to him, and that was really nice to hear him talk, and he still had a little stutter. And it's like, it really drills in that message, and One Book, One School just gives positive vibes, and it's just really wonderful. And the follow-up activities after even reading the book, learning about different disabilities and how people have to handle them. And it's really amazing.
I'd really like to thank our PTA and our parents for purchasing these books and sponsoring us and being really enthusiastic. Yes, a shout out to David and Brian and Betsy. You guys, this doesn't happen without that kind of administrative team and their support. And a couple other people I just want to